Hello, friends and subscribers. Welcome back to Royal Tales. My name is Meredith, and I entertain you with my thoughts, opinions, and original stories featuring members of the British royal family. All media used was found in the public domain and are used under fair use and fair dealings guidelines. This is my tribute to Her Majesty the Queen, Queen Elizabeth. Thank you for your many years of unwavering service to your country and the Commonwealth. You have been an inspiration to many. This is how I imagine events unfolded upon the death of Her Majesty. The Death of Her Majesty the Queen, a Sussex fairy tale. Balmoral Castle, Scotland. Date, 8 September 2022. Time, 1437. Queen Elizabeth II let out her final breath. A slight smile touched her lips. She could see Philip coming towards her. She held up her finger, indicating that she would be a moment. She turned to see her family gathered around her now lifeless body. First, she went to Andrew. She put her hands on his shoulders and whispered, "My once handsome Andrew, you turned into such a disappointment. You had better stay out of trouble. I will no longer be here to protect you." Now she turned to Anne and put her arm around Anne's waist and gave her a little squeeze. "My dear, strong, sensible Anne, if only I could have chosen my successor. Well, you know the rest. Support your brother and keep him sensible. I'll be watching." Edward was next to Anne. She grabbed his hand as she had done once when he was a child. "Dear Edward, I am so proud of you. When you were a young man, I thought that you might be gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that," she hastened to add. "But you brought us the lovely Sophie, and your family represents us so well. I am so glad it is you who will assume the title Duke of Edinburgh. You will do your father proud." She moved behind Prince, now King Charles, and put her hands lightly on his shoulders and whispered, "Try not to muck it up. I've been wanting to say that my whole life. But seriously, we are hanging onto the monarchy by the skin of our teeth, and if you put a foot wrong, it can all come crashing down." Next, she looked affectionately at William. She gripped his shoulder as if she was bestowing a knighthood upon him. "You, my dear, are the future of the monarchy. I think with you waiting in the wings, the monarchy will be able to survive through the reign of Fred and Gladys. The people look at you and your sweet family and see the future. Stay on a straight path." Elizabeth turned towards Philip, who held out his hand towards her. She walked swiftly towards him and stepped into his waiting arms. After a long hug, she stepped back and glanced over her shoulder at her family, who was just beginning to realize she had passed. "Thank goodness Megan didn't come," she quipped, at which Prince Philip threw back his head and laughed. "Oh, my dear, I have missed your wicked sense of humor." Elizabeth hugged him again. "And I have missed you." Philip grabbed the Queen's arm and began to walk her towards the light. "Where are we going?" Elizabeth asked, as she willingly let Philip lead the way. "We are going to the other side," Philip answered. "Your father and mother have been awaiting your arrival, but they knew that you would want to see me first." "Oh, yes," Elizabeth beamed. "It has been so long since I've seen my father. Let's hurry." "Not too fast, my love. On the way, I need to fill you in on what the dastardly Duchess has been up to. She got up to quite a bit of mischief while you were busy dying." Elizabeth grimaced. "Ugh, I thought I could be done with her over here." Philip smiled gently. "I know, my dear, she has been quite the cross to bear. Diana, however, is still hell-bent on saving Harry. It will be up to you if you decide to help her." Elizabeth sighed. "I don't know that Harry is worth saving, but do tell." And Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, and the love of her life, Prince Philip, disappeared into the mist. Balmoral Castle, the Queen's bedside. Date, 8 September 2022. Time, 1440. The doctor turned from examining his patient to give the waiting family the news. He shook his head sadly, then switched to his official proclamation. "The Queen is dead! Long live the King!" "Long live the King!" Princess Anne and the others echoed. "Thank you." Charles nodded his head toward the doctor. "Please inform Her Majesty's private secretary that London Bridge has fallen, and he will take it from there." The doctor exited silently. The 4 Mountbatten Windsor children and William all looked at each other silently. Finally Andrew broke in. "Now what?" he asked, no one in particular. Anne spoke up. "Charles is now our king, and our first order of business is to swear our loyalty and fealty to our new sovereign. William, as the heir, you will go first, then we will follow the line of succession." William bent over his father's hand. "Your Majesty, I proclaim my loyalty and fealty to you as my liege sovereign. May your reign be long and prosperous. God save the king." "God save the king!" the others echoed. Next Andrew approached Charles. After making the official proclamation as William had done, he looked at his brother beseechingly. "Will you please return the titles and honors Mummy stripped from me? I am so bored. With my dear friend Ghislaine gone for the next 20 years, I really have nothing to do." Charles stared at him, dumbfounded that anyone could be so stupid. Andrew stepped back meekly. "Just think about it," he added quickly. Next Edward stepped forward to pay homage. After his emotional proclamation, he also made a request of his brother. "Can we please expedite the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh thing? Sophie has been vexed that Meghan technically outranks her, especially since they quit the job and left the country." Charles nodded sympathetically. Finally, the Princess Royal proclaimed her service to the new monarch. After rising from her deep curtsy, she lifted her brow and asked, "Since we are requesting honors and titles, I request that the duplicitous duo in Montecito have theirs rescinded and they are removed from the line of succession." "Hear, hear," agreed Andrew, and Edward nodded in agreement. Charles reminded them, "It's not that simple. We shall see how they respond to this turn of events." He turned towards the door, and the 5 senior royals exited the room, each lost in their own thoughts. Frogmore Cottage. Date 8 December 2022. Time 1500. Meghan hung up the phone slowly, stunned at the news she had just received. Slowly she began to smile. Then she began to laugh. "Finally, she's dead! Finally!" She began scheming immediately. "Charles is now king. I can get him to do whatever I want. And the first thing I want is for him to give Archie and Lilibet the titles of Prince and Princess." She picked up the phone to call Harry. "Harry," she barked when he answered, "get home now. Your father is king now, and we have to start planning how to get what we want from him." She hung up the phone and smiled. This is exactly what she had been waiting for. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this installment of the Sussex Fairy Tales, and I will be back soon with a new one. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.